Hello, everybody. My name is Megan Campion. I'm an associate partner at Education Elements. Most of my career has been in education. I spent most of my time in schools in middle school, teaching social studies, and then I was an administrator.
And I'm Maria Morrison. I started out as a sixth grade teacher, and then I taught sixth grade for a while. My last year I taught eighth grade, and then I was an instructional coach. So we'll shift a little bit and think about trust. And I really wanted to frame this on psychological safety. So the shared belief that your team is safe for risk taking. And it depends a lot on context, and it also depends a lot on the power structures within a team, but ultimately comes down to trust, right? If I trust that I can take a risk, I can say something that feels a little bit like a risk, and I'm not going to be shut down or reprimanded by my manager or by whoever is kind of supervising me, then I'm much more likely to do that. And it all comes down to trust. So even though there's a power dynamic there, with trust, we can build that sense of belonging where people feel like they can do that. And I see, oh yes, Brene Brown too. Folks are using the chat. Please continue to use the chat as well. If you have a reaction, if you have a question, just drop it in the chat. And two wonderful people have been highlighted, Elena Aguilar and Brene Brown. So why does psychological safety matter now more than ever? Because in some ways, people have been working like the image on the left for a while. There's a lot going on. And then on the right, another thing that's happening for a lot of folks, myself included, is that it feels like drinking from a fire hose. I kind of thought that I would stop feeling like I've been drinking from a fire hose, and it turns out that was not the case at all. That there's consistently new things that I need to learn and I need to adapt to. And same thing for our teachers, right? There's all of these platforms. There's communicating with families. There's communicating with students. There's dealing with the Zoom outage that happened just yesterday on the first day of school for many people. Even when you think you have all of your ducks in a row, surprise, global Zoom outage. So this overwhelming feeling is kind of something that a lot of us can identify with, and the number of apps and adjustments that we keep having to make are still very, very relevant. So psychological safety is super important now because of these two pieces. I really like these graphics as a way of kind of illustrating low trust and high trust environments. And I know that I've been a part of both, and that they feel different. So in a low trust environment, people will avoid wanting to look ignorant or incompetent or intrusive or negative by not doing things, right? So they won't ask questions. I've definitely sat in that PD as a teacher and been like, I don't know what is going on, but not said anything, and then left and went and found some other teacher and asked them. Incompetent by not admitting weaknesses or mistakes. And this is something that can really start at the top and be modeled. Not offering up ideas and not challenging the status quo. So in a low trust environment, we often see these behaviors playing out at some level or another. On the contrary, and I would love to know your all's thoughts in the chats about these. On the contrary, if there's a high trust environment, and people aren't afraid that they're going to be punished, they're not afraid they're going to be shot down or humiliated, right? You'll see people asking questions, admitting mistakes and weaknesses. You'll see folks offering up ideas, especially across that power structure, and challenging the status quo. So that's in more of a high trust environment.
Rituals are a really powerful strategy to improve work life. Rituals are something that as human beings, we just do. We do them in every facet of our life because it helps us work through a lot of things. So the importance of rituals at work, rituals can help us act more like we aspire to be. They're practices that bond people together, help us move through conflicts, amp us up to better performances, and assist us in adapting to change. And one of the things that I just wanted to call out is a difference between a ritual and just a practice of, like, oh, I check in, I send text to people to check in on them. A ritual is something that everybody knows is coming. Like, it's something that becomes something that is understood to be the way you interact.
But hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thanks again so much.